would you?
Health-wise. There's something going on with them.
Probably should get you some ears, because I don't hear very well.
Just gonna ask.
Double transport. If I get out of my cocoon, I'll freeze. How are you today?
I'm here because I need psychological relief.
Oh, well, you came to the right place.
Got the bin.
We're good to everybody's soul here.
There, good boy.
Horses are good therapy, I wanna make sure it stays that way.
Yes.
Because the horses can drive you crazy when the wrong thing's happening.
I'm gonna record a lot of this for you. And
Great, thank you.
put it up on the website, for you.
Oh, little boys.
Okay, that'd be great. Give me that,
Want me to
you can
count
have the
down?
boys,
She's
yes,
a nice
'cause-
person, I've seen her before, I don't know.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know you know her.
Hey,
but-
buddy.
This Donna?
Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Yeah, so I thought.
That's debatable.
We let her into our herd a long time ago.
Yeah, I figured.
You know, we're selective what we let in, but she's good fun.
She found out, this morning why she doesn't drive other people's horses.
What?
I said, I found out this morning why I don't drive other people's horses.
Oh, that one that you did?
Sometimes I drive someone's horse and I get off and I say to them, how the hell do you drive this thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you and Jada drive other people's horses,
It's not easy.
because, I mean, granted, she expected me to be able to drive within 2 minutes, but the thing is so short-necked.
And mine go my way with my hand, and that's what I'm looking to feel, and I can't, you know, just, one woman I said to her, that this was like a premonition that turned out. I said to her, Maxine Cuman, she was old, she was 75, very osteoporotic, very skinny. And I said to her, Max, how do you drive this goddamn thing? I can't hold it, it's gonna kill you. Well, a month later, something scared it, it ran, dumped her out, came by, caught her up with a bucket carriage and snapped her neck. Broke C1 and C2, she should be dead. But I couldn't drive the doggone thing, I don't know how she did. She's bred it and raised it, it's scary.
It made me, to drive this morning, go, do I just not know how to drive? Or is it, I don't know.
Well, you know, one of the things those of us who do it for a living have to stay somewhat adjustable. And I really don't drive anything but my own much. I don't even drive Wilson's horses.
Yeah.
They're too heavy in the left hand for me.
Oh, I got it, Deb, thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
No.
Hey, little man. Hey, little man. Oh, I think he kind of liked Deb. He's gonna go
Did he?
with her.
Lexington,
You know, what was funny is, who was holding them yesterday?
stop it.
Diane. And then when I saw her later, they wanted to talk. Get Diane back, we want to talk to her.
Welcome.
The little white tornadoes.
I thought he thought I was a pain in the ass.
No, I think.
No, they're really funny because they're suspicious of anybody that comes up to them.
Yeah,
And then once they make peace with you,
yeah.
then the next thing you know, the little buggers are connected to you.
Like
It's like, hey, don't leave me. Well, your mama's behind you, fool.
I moved over so I could get the audio for this. So
Okay.
that's good.
Oh, yeah. And so they don't get enough other inputs. You know, it'd be really good for them to come to the zoo this winter. And the other thing they can do is, you know, Tuesdays is group lesson day. Tuesday mornings, there are 2 group lessons, and sometimes they're as big as 12 in the lesson. And it's phenomenal the progress horses make in that situation. Like Mary Waller comes with a 4 or a pair, Kelly comes with a big pair, and Bob Vance's big Dutch horses thrashing around out there.
Well, that'll be good for them, because that's phase 3 out of these big Dutch horses.
Well, we got a lot of big Dutch horses to play with down there. Wilson brings his big Dutch horse. Mary Mott brings her hot shot Morgan. And it's really fun to play together.
But of course, they're gonna think that I'm an out-of-control driver when they start taking off, when the horses come up.
Well, they understand. The nice thing about that whole crowd, everybody's good to each other. They all love Tuesday morning. Is it dull? Uh-huh. Manny looks a tiny bit moth-eaten. Well, and all of those symptoms can be ulcer problems. The poor coat, the girthiness, and the fretfulness with the neck can all be because the guts are bothering them. I think the problem with them is they don't eat anything, right?
They're on full hay, and then they get the rest out.
Uh-huh. Do you suppose he'd eat aloe juice on his ration balancer? It's very tasty. It tastes like spring water, and you can buy it at Walmart for like $7.87 a gallon. Start with a little bit and see how much. I mean, a cup would be lovely, but start with a little bit and build it up. It's amazing. Well, you know what aloe's for is burns, and it's amazing what it does to their gut comfort without having to do nutraceuticals or pharmaceuticals or something they don't want to eat. Because his symptoms to me are a horse whose guts are bothering him. And he was so badly fed as a baby that who knows what state his guts are in. But as you look at them, Lexington tends to look kind of like white marble, and Manny looks like a white fuzzball.
Yeah, he just,
But all of the things he does are very symptomatic of an unhappy gut. And you're right, Lex is smooth, and Manny looks mangy. Well, yeah, yeah, I think so. When you feed good hay, which will give you the shine. Yeah, it's wonderful. And the neat thing about the alfalfa is these metabolic ones can eat it. So if Lex is, as we sometimes suspect, a little metabolically odd, he can eat alfalfa. It's not a problem. Good boys. Manny's not so fretful today, but maybe he was out in the wind. I don't know. Well, hell no. But he looks way less fretful. They're happier working, and you know, if they have gut problem, the fretfulness is that too. Looks like he's gonna bite Lexington. Manny and Lex sound like a couple old boys at the bar, but Manhattan and Lexington, Manny and Lex sound like a couple of boys, but Manhattan and Lexington sound kind of fancy. Yes. Like I say, Manny and Lex sound like a couple of boys at the country store spitting on the feet of the wood stove. Yeah, I would try the aloe for him. I was doing some business with one of the vets at University of Florida Vet School, the head vet actually, and he was prescribing aloe for somebody, and I said to him, "Where do you get your aloe?" And he said, "Oh, Kamisa Ridge. It cost me $30, so I sell it to them for $40." I said, "Well, if you really want to make money, go get it from Walmart for $7.87." He said, "Oh my God, you've just put me into the black." I said, "How do you know how you feed that stuff?" He said, "Somebody told me." I said, "We feed it to everything." He said, "It's my secret weapon. No fuss." Good for them to be in here and deal with the corners. No, I was not. Kathy brought me some tea, which is great. I already had one cup, but I was beginning to be a little chilly. Although with the goose down and then the fleece over it, it's pretty comfortable. And then I have a new layer under me. And lots of back on track here and there. Good.
And lunch is coming apparently.
And you know what? I like the fact that you slow down when you come to the corner instead of jamming them through, because it gives them time to arrange their feet and their bodies. So many people try to run through the corner and then the horse says, "Oh good, I got away with that." Just make them take their time. There, good. I'd be lost if I didn't have corners to work with. Mr. Fussy Pants is much with us, but it's good you got Lexington's rein on top, so that Manny doesn't bother him. Sometimes I've done the opposite to keep the Manny ones from ducking, but I think it would frustrate the dickens out of him. You're going somewhere in particular? Oh, not to attack your brother. Good. Doesn't hurt. Keep trotting. But it doesn't hurt him to come down like that and take mini steps and work on arranging his feet where they're supposed to be. Because they kind of have the idea if we shoot through here, she won't notice. That means you, Lexington, keep 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, he said, damn, I had to soften. Well, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, little rat finger. Manny finally can carry his tail. He didn't for years. Yeah. Can't get the neck and the back, but I'm sure they're related. Well, you're retired. You have time to deal with all of this. I'm retirement age, but I don't have any time. I have a very wealthy friend whose attitude on time to do things I love. He was only worth 10 million. He married a gal who's worth 70 million. So he says we can't make a dent in the interest. But when people say they don't have time to ride, he says, well, nobody has time to ride. You steal it from what you think you're supposed to be doing. He said that I don't have to do anything. But he says I get up in the morning and I get the riding over with, which is my favorite part of the day. But if I don't do it first, somebody will steal my time. Good. Was interested in what Lex came into the corner. He was going to barge, and then he backed off and got light. Like that. Good, good, good. Keep the hind legs dancing. And then he says, oh man, that's work. I think I'll quit. And you tell him, Good. And then soften 1/4 of an inch. If they leave, catch them. Try it. Try to soften every chance you can get to hopefully make peace in the herd. And hopefully they will learn, if they're halfway good, you will soften, and if they're not, you'll break their jaws. They can earn the right for you to be nice to them. Or they can earn the right for you to keep directing around by their faces. Soften the outside rein, Lex, very good. Notice he kept his head down, his back up, and kept jogging. And when you soften the outside rein, it's always going to affect the outside horse more. So it gives Lex a chance to be soft, and it doesn't let Mannheim Steamroller get away. That's good, boys. Good. And the more you soften, it softens 1/4 of an inch. The more you soften, the more you can go back in and give instructions because they're ready to receive. That's good, Lex. Like Lex gets a little caught back on the corner, you can allow him to come up. There you go. And when he comes up, it gives Manny a break, and Manny doesn't have to whine. He whines anyway. Good. So set them up. Now allow Lex 1/4 of an inch. Oh, good boy. And he actually brings Manny around, so it makes it easier for Manny to stay straight. See, that time Lex came around the corner really well, and he got long. Good. And when you do have a situation where you can work at it, remember you want your saddles together as much as possible. Because they're being pretty cooperative, and you begin to get the open and close happening, so then you can put the saddles together. But I haven't seen Lex stretch his neck like this for a while. It's good. Very good. That was a lovely corner. And they look like they're working as a pair. It means Lex has to a little bit shorten his step, and Manny has a little bit open his to go together. I had a pair I drove for years, a very unlikely pair. One was a great big liver chestnut Morgan from Topeka, Kansas, and the other was a standard-bred Clyde cross. And for years, she had to shorten and he had to lengthen to go together, and then they got old and couldn't do that anymore. They went back to being 2 singles. There, you allowed. Lex came up and everybody worked. And Manny didn't complain. Good. There you have a pair. Good. Right now, so the more you can kind of take up and allow, take up and allow, the better it gets. And then Manny doesn't seem to be ripping his face off, which you weren't doing, but his perceptions are looking like, good boy, good boy. When they both get on the train, it's let Manny up, Lex up. Yeah. No, God knows. Lex is so relaxed, he thinks it's okay to quit when he comes around the corner. That's a good boy. Very, very cute. Yeah, you can remind Tubby to come up. Well, I don't think they knew. Oh, good boys.
So they got stationed on the rail when I wanted to pull them off to an odd spot. They're like, what?
Excuse me, you're wrong, lady. Good boy.
No.
That's hard, isn't it, Mr. Lex?
Okay.
Go nicely like that, good boys. They got to the point where they were both bending, which is a pleasure. And they actually go way in the corner. Or you're going to get wedged into the wall. I think it's really good for all these animals to work in this box, because the box limits the miscellaneous things they can do other than what you want. And besides, Ring's a box. It's just a little bigger box, which is still supposed to go like a box. Now the Wind Devil's going to get him. Yeah, they've actually got matching tail carriage now. Used to be one had a tail and the other had a wad stuck between his legs. You know, I don't think you've lost anything for the time you took off. I think they're really comfortable and happy, and they haven't lost any training. So they've been off since skunk, right? Yeah. No, because when I saw you in the spring, they were kind of still on vacation. Well, you had this store you had to get rid of, and you got it done. I would have at that moment, just because I could see from where I'm sitting, I would have asked Lex to put his right hind leg under. He was cheating. It looked like a really nice turn, and then I looked down and I went, well, you're a little stinky, your right hind leg's falling in. That's better. Oop. See him want to step out? Yeah. He thought that was convenient, and he said, Mama won't notice. Good. Now, he looks like he's the stalwart in the package, but he has his share of little things he does. There, yeah, good. He can be a miserable snake. I'm doing it right.
I was going to say, he's just looking at you guys going,
I'm doing it right. You didn't notice I was being an ass. So put the right hind under. There. Not necessarily quicker. There. That's hard for him, isn't it? And of course, with any horse at any time, if you're trying to move on one end and it doesn't move, move the other end. So you could bring his shoulders in. But that's a little hard because then Shorty has to come along for the trip. So really, the way to do it is to get it done single. But anytime you're trying to move a horse, I don't care if you're riding Western or English or you're driving, whatever you're doing, if you can't move the end you want to move the other end. You'll get the same result.
That's what we did with our corners.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And didn't it work?
Yes.
Yeah. You wanted one end and you moved the other end, and he went, oh shit, you got me.
Yes,
And he did it so neatly and round.
Yeah, thanks.
And he acted pleasantly surprised. Don't tell me you're stuck when you've only tried to move one end. Move the other end. I mean, they're made of putty. That's it, boys. I really see a difference the more you ask and let go, ask and let go, ask and let go. And the let go's tiny, they're not gonna get anywhere. Good boys. And the short one isn't saying you're torturing him. He tortures himself. But, there you go, Lexington. Good boy. Nice regular steps out of Manny there. Careful. Good boys. Not, you sort of left them on their own. But you know what? They worked their way out of it just fine. Good. They're not quite so married to the rail now. I'm just going to say, when you run out of things to do, you can work on deviations. Because guess who cheated? Yeah. Good job. Come on, Tubby, keep up with Shorty.
Well, it's nice to see that, Shorty's actually trying to hold today.
Shorty's actually offering to do the job when Fatty doesn't do it.
Yesterday, in his first call area was not in the
Because he didn't use it. Yesterday, he did a fine job carrying his half of the harness. But not a lot of work got done by him. Good boys. And Lex got caught up. They had a bunch of steps that were absolutely together across the door there. They're hard. And what you have to do is go in, get out, go in, get out, go in, get out. Because it's a very small deviation. But if you can do it in here, you can do it anywhere. And the advantage of in here is the walls come up in your face, they have to give. So what you do is, in that situation, you just release for a step or two. That's all you have time for. But it solves the problem because it lets the circulation come into the mouth and the deadness go away.
I've been working on the length off of the 10 meter.
Oh, yeah?
So now
Every time you make a 10 meter, they're ready to go. Then it looks like the Nook of the North.
Oh, freezing.
Doesn't look like you're drinking hot fluid, however.
I know. That was a dumb idea, but it sounded good at the time when I was in my warm car.
Every time they think they can tell you something they already know they want to. Good, come on,
That's the
Lexington,
problem with
Lexington,
drive-thrus.
Lexington. Yeah, good boy.
Even in the summer.
I'm actually pleased with Shorty. Yeah, good boy.
They're cute. What are they?
Is what, I gotta be as good as him?
Oh.
They're like my puppies. They're a SWAT team. One will work, the other do something else. I have 2 6-month-old puppies. Girl puppies.
Goodness, what are they?
Who knows? Their mother's a brindle rat terrier. Their father were 2 different men on the streets of Texas, so they don't look at all alike. But there were 5 of them, no 2 look alike. I think she had 5 husbands.
Poor thing.
She's very cute. Their mother's very cute. They're black and they're slick and they're shiny. And one has brindle leg warmers and a beagle face and a hound tail. The other one has a fox terrier face, lizard legs, and white polka dotted legs. That was good though, huh? Because it worked.
So
Well, the lizard leg has a curly tail with a white tip on it. They're pretty funny.
They change directions all the time, so.
No, I mean names.
Yeah. So Lex stayed with the project that time, got himself right up against the pole, and got flexible.
Well, no, I know that, but like, what's the name? Lex, I know Lexington.
Very good.
What are the names of the taller and the slightly shorter horses?
These 2?
Yeah.
The short one is Manhattan. The tall one is Lexington.
Thanks.
But they get to be Manny and Lex, like a couple old boys at the bar. They're half brothers, they have the same father.
Lex is
The short one had a bigger mother, but the short one was bought as a baby and locked up in a stall forever. A 16 by 16 stall, and kept as a breeding stallion, and used as a breeding stallion as a 2-year-old. He was pretty, but then Donna bought him sight unseen. He was pretty scary to look at in the beginning. He's gotten very pretty, but he was a weird looking little smelt in the beginning. And Lexington's
Lexington's my favorite.
Yeah, Lexington trained up with a really nice single, and then he got competing single and started puking on it. I thought, I don't want to do that. Straight, 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 straight. There you go. Manny doesn't get a vote. He's just a horse. Come on, Manny. Up, up. There, good boy. But you know, it's remarkable, Donna, the amount of time they spend in stride. Just from the miles they've been together.
And the fact that Manny's 3 inches shorter and lengthwise shorter.
Yeah, he's a midget widget.
So he wears a 48 and blind hit Lex wears 52.
And Manny looks like they washed him on hot and dried him on high. Manny's truly Shetland size. Modern Shetland. Lex is a miniature. He's a miniature Lipizan.
Yeah. That's a good analogy.
Lex looks like a Lipizan. He goes like a Lipizan. The more they're not expecting that you spring on them, the better. There you go. Manny up. Manny, good boy. Wow. You know, the way you rearrange the reins and the yoke isn't beating on him at all today. And he's not whining about it.
Now what's the yoke?
The yoke goes across in front of them,
Oh,
and it yokes them together. The pole comes up between them, and the yoke is on the end of the pole, and it goes across in front of them, and the end of the yoke is exactly the same length as the space between where the roof trees are in the back, so it makes sort of a box for them. And the yoke keeps them together and allows them to push and work together. Sometimes we use pole straps instead of the yoke. I prefer the yoke because it keeps them apart better. It gives them more of a framework to work in. And yesterday, the trace is longer, and the yoke is back against them. And when the big one would move, the yoke would come up and whack the other one in the throat, which he didn't like. The neat thing is they really are a similar shape. One's just way little. Bad cone in that corner. Manny's not talking with his mouth today. He's not going, ow, 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 ow. Good boys. Wow, that's nice. And they're doing a good job switching from deviation to serpentine. And they both have to be reminded to step up when they're on the outside. I don't know what they think the game is, but Manny up. Today. Yeah, there we go. Has anybody seen the white of Jada's eyes today?
She's bringing you lunch,
Oh, good.
so. I spoke to her just a little while ago.
Somebody came in looking for her. I forgot who it was.
One of the Nebraska people?
Huh?
One of the Nebraska people?
Maybe. Somebody asked me where she was. I said, no, it was Laura Plummer looking for hay. I didn't know where she was. I said, wasn't my week to watch her. No, very straight. Straight, straight. Lexington, don't lean right, you monkey. There you go. Yeah, that's like go in a straight line and you become a flying wedge. You know, they were like, whoa, we were not in tune for that job. That's a good job for them. Because that's like coming down the center line, but they're not as familiar with it. Nice stretch. Nice stretchy necks.
It was very tasty to me.
Hi, Randy.
Hello.
That was fabulous last night.
He's just self-critiquing, don't bother
It
complimenting.
was yummy. And Matt said, why don't we try leaving a brisket on Randy's doorstep more often? Then we'd have good things to eat. Matt was very complimentary of it. He loved it. Somewhere there's a painting on a gift card of a white lipizzan. The gift card's entitled "The Swan." And when I see Lex from the side, he looks like the swan. Yeah. There's a wall there. These little black-eyed devils. They're Shetland. They're American Shetland. Although the bigger one could smell of Welsh. But as far as we know, he's American Shetland. The little one looks very American Shetland. American Shetland not being quite as rugged and woolly as the British one. They've refined it with some things like acne. Although they look more Welsh than anything else. They look more Welsh than Shetland. But they are Shetlands. And how old are they now? 10 and 9 and 10? I was going to say 10 and 8. They're almost grown up. That's what I say about the Morgans. By the time they get to be 20, we'll have their number.
It'll be perfect in 6 months since you're retired now, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll be tremendously better.
Now she's retired. If they don't get better, we're going to shoot her. You're free to play pony.
Oh, they're so cute. I just love them.
But you know what? It's getting so everybody's retired around here. Except me. I'm not allowed to retire.
Someone's
I
having to
can't
reach out.
afford to retire anyway. My job isn't that hard. It's just steady. Good boys. Manny lengthened once yesterday really well. But your friend and mine, the white big thing, wants to quicken. Try, ask for the lengthen, but don't let them out. See if you can get the hind leg to engage more. Yep, that's fine. Always fine. Tell the big white thing he's got to turn. Yeah, that's better. He was telling you he didn't want to. Anyhow. Now go, but don't let them out. Hold. Now you can let them out. There. See the difference? So you have to, and if you're going to show tomorrow, you might get a comment that the necks need to come out. But the rear end has to engage first. The rear end isn't going to engage if you let the front end go. So you have to hold them until about halfway, and you can feel them starting to kick up to your hand, and then you can let them out. But if you just let them out soon, they get quick. Come on, Lex, get your ass up. There you go. Good boy. So ask, but keep them. Keep them, keep them, keep them. Now allow. We got a little bit of both. But you did get some lengthen. They're clever, so they knew you were going to do that time. Of course, this is easy to work on single, too. We got a pretty good length in a couple of the minis today, holding on to them. Ugh. A nice neck on Lex there. Round, forward. Boy, that one, man. Hold, push. Now allow a 1/4 of an inch. There. That got longer. Much better. And then kill it. That means you too, Manny. You say, what, I gotta stop? Yeah, you do. That was relatively nice. Like one time in Florida, Michael Freund says to me, "You ready for your test?" I said, "Yep." He said, "No, you're not. You've only done 2 extensions." He said, "Do another 12 and we'll talk." But you gotta do it till it's automatic. That's where we're at with them. Hold, until you feel it kick. Now try. Manny did better than Lex. He says, "I'm going to the bushes." You got a cute butt.
Only you can get away
Donna
with
has a
saying that.
cute butt.
I do like the circle. It gets some thinking. Hold. Yeah, now let. I think so. Manny actually lengthened just then, but when Tubby here was single, did he lengthen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he can almost do an extension.
He's just messing. So Manny's the one I see trying, and Lex is like, "Yeah, call waiting."
Relax mode, since we're trying to get them,
Yep.
softer.
And so he's happy to relax.
Yeah. I either have one or the other.
Right.
You choose to drive the challenge.
Yeah. I'll give a 1/4 inch. Yeah, better. Got a little quick, but it got bigger. If you give too much, they just depart. They go squirrely. Oh, it's nice when the wind stops.
I don't remember seeing them this in sync even in past.
No, they're about as in sync as I've seen them. Hold. Wait till it pushes. Soften a 1/4. Now, big man's lengthening. Big difference. Big man came off that corner and said, "All right, I'll give it to you." Good boy, Lexington. Yeah, they're working as a pair right now really nicely. They don't even look like an odd horse and his mate. It is terrible hard. Terrible hard.
Is that tired or is that just evasive?
He gets, I think he gets tired. I think he's probably got a little gut sensitivity. Started to be good and then they got quick. So I think too much release again. If you keep the front end, the back end tracks up, then there's a moment where it works. But if they get away, the little devils, then they don't have to do it. And they know it too. I like the fact they don't often just squirt off when you don't ask for it. Like just there, they might have thought there was coming a length and then they didn't do anything. They stayed together. They certainly don't mind working. They're not complaining that we're killing them. And Kathy's going to have video for you to see. I think you'll be happy with what you see. Although I realize you're ever your own worst critic. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. That's right. look at videos and I go, oh my God, what's that mess? Shorty. He's admiring his little mug in the mirror.
It was,
He was like, isn't that cute? Yeah, but you ain't working. I believe you have relaxation now. Which is nice.
It's nice, I'm not having my arms.
No, they're actually being very cooperative. Diane was saying she thinks it's the most in sync she's seen them. And we've all seen them quite a bit. There you go. No time out for good behavior. So hold, give a quarter of an inch. I think they both like it. Manny certainly did.
Yeah, Lilo's gonna join.
Hello, Lilo.
White horse.
Come on, rocket science. She blends right in, doesn't she?
She looks like one of them.
Yeah. Here's your unicorn leader. She just showed up.
her tail carriage would be hard to get right though.
Yeah. Good boys. Very good boys. Oh, you want us to go straight? You're such a toughie. Good boy. That was a good day's work.
Tilly just keeps whining at me, saying she didn't get enough.
Lex says he's ready to pull the plug.
Not as much as her Labrador, but
Well, yeah. They're never full.
they're never full.
Hi. You're good boys. You have nice feet.
I heard that he swung by.
Yeah, well, I don't even mind Manny's.
Knowing he didn't
They're not as big, but they're round and solid.
May have come home with more, who knows?
She's shy. She likes it.
Oh,
Good boy. And we
Well,
lengthened
you've been here
stride.
before. I forgot you boarded here.
Nice lengthened stride.
Sweet little puppy.
No. You gotta stay working till you dismiss them, and they gotta review all their parts. How you, rocket scientist? How are you?
Be able to
Funny
identify
girl.
what they're giving away and
yeah, but they're not. I swear that's what
If Lilo's here, there must be new bars on the move.
That's what I was thinking.
tons of it everywhere.
I can hear Molly, I think.
Ah. Yep, you're right.
Wow.
I think I hear Penny too. Because you always hear Penny.
Oh, Laurel's shown up, so
Penny's a perpetual noise.
the gang's working their way here.
I hear them.
Yes.
I think Laurel's there too, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Sound like the whole herd. The girl gang. Of course, the only boys off a Boy Scout camp.
You're not the only one.
It's a good job for them. You're good boys.
Even when she was little, she didn't even do that to me when she was little. Really?
She is. I mean, she definitely has her preferences. She loves Laurel and Molly and Jada.
It's a girl thing.
It's a girl. Well, but she, you know, I'm not a.
You're not on the list?
I'm not on the list. No. But then again, I am sometimes. It's a girl thing.
You see her more often. Well, you see her all the time too.
Sort of.
Probably more so than I do. I've never asked her.
Put it this way, I see her more than I see my own.
Well,
That's
that's not
about-
hard to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's still about saying.
Here comes something across the yard.
You gonna do this semester?
I hope so. She's in welding and electricity and chassis something and looking for a job. You know, that last part is her mother and father's wishful thinking.
They want the kid to work.
We want the kid to work, so.
Boomerang home.
The kid may or may not feel like working.
She's out of Hudson Valley and Troy. She chose to stay out there. They have a better
Look at
chance
him, man.
in New York than they do in
Pretty cute.
Ohio State. So, but in that.
Manny's got a square port.
No, he is in the Mullen.
Ah,
He's in the Mullen and represents
Yeah, I remember it, Alexa, I remember Rip Miami's rings looked familiar, but I couldn't remember what the mouth was.
Repainted it,